Fellas, what's good?
Chilling.
Good, man.
Been good.
What's good? Right. Handshake.
We got a couple warm-up questions, actually.
Warm-up questions today.
So Trey and I were having this conversation yesterday. Is it better to be with a woman, let's say it's your ex, because she's a good woman or because she's a good woman at that time? In other words, is it more necessary to be with somebody because you know that they're a good woman, you can build a future with them? Or do you think it's better to be with someone alright and it's better than nothing?
Trey, go first.
That's terrible, dog. God,
I have two sides of it.
Yeah, it's a loaded but even question at the same time, but there's an answer to it. And damn, I'm gonna have to go with because she's a good woman and it's alright with me, because like at the same time I know how it is with that woman, and I'll accept that wholeheartedly, except the fact that there's a reason why they're alright for me, because I know that from the past, and I'll just go with that. But that's the easy route, and going with that is like basically it's gonna open up doors of like some negativity coming back in, or things going wrong possibly.
Yeah, but at the same time, it depends when you got that woman. For me personally, so if you got that woman at a younger age, this might sound horrible. Like if y'all started dating in like high school, or y'all started like dating like maybe freshman year of college, let's say that. You have a better way of training that woman and leading her the correct way than finding a woman at 26 that's already been with other men and have her ways set.
Training her, huh?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
That sounds so damn. Why you gotta say it like you training the
or lead?
You can lead, and it's funny. That's actually we're gonna talk about.
It's like you training a
that
dog.
whole leading concept today, but before we get into
Because
that,
don't women want men who can lead?
we're gonna talk about that. We actually, you see,
it's facts.
your boy, your glorious host, went out and conducted field research this past week. You know, I have a public health background, I have a sociology background, so we're gonna get into all that. But you know, I think my 2 cents on it is, I think you gotta just understand what you're getting yourself into at the front end. So if you guys are gonna start off casually and work towards more of a romantic relationship, then that has to be established from the get-go, right? If you start getting into it thinking it's gonna be one thing and the other person thinks it's something else, that's not good. Right. But I'm a full understanding of, you know, everybody wants someone to have, someone to hold. Everybody wants companionship. Everybody wants to seek to have that. So people being real and authentic in terms of saying, look, this person is a good person. I like being in their company. So I have no problem with dating them casually and seeing where things go. Versus getting into a relationship thinking it has to be geared towards marriage or nothing. I don't necessarily buy that, but at the end of the day, everybody wants to get somewhere. You know?
Why not? Why don't you buy into that?
Just because I think it's more productive to let things kind of flow naturally and let things kind of build organically, authentically. You know, you're not having to be something or be someone you're not. Usually whenever you let it build from the ground up, versus if you try to start from the top floor and then say, hey, I'm looking down, so I already see this happening, right? Versus, okay, we'll start at ground zero, we're going to start at the basement, and we're going to work our way upstairs together.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but I'm asking a quick question. What does an ultimatum give to you within like 3 years, and like, you know, either you get something very serious now, or
Like marriage or dating?
Marriage.
3
years down the line, and 3 years y'all been dating, and like, you know, ultimatum comes through.
The fact that person is willing to ultimatum me personally, I don't do ultimatums, so that's me, because it starts off with one thing and then it becomes everything else. I don't do ultimatums. That's just my answer.
Okay.
If I ever get ultimatum, no, like, this is gonna work because now you're willing to make that power play against me. That's the way I'm gonna see it, right? That's gonna affect my peace of mind. I understand that, okay, we've been going somewhere, we've been at it for this many years or whatever. But that's forcing it. It's just almost the same thing of saying, hey, look, we're here, we have to do this now. No, we don't.
I mean, you already training her though. That's forcing her at the same time.
I don't believe in, obviously.
I don't think training a woman is bad. It sounds bad, but it depends on that male's perspective and what their intentions are. So if you're a good man and you're just trying to make that woman be the best that they can be, I think a woman should pour into our bucket, and I think we should pour into their buckets. That's, to me, it's the same thing as training them. So it's like, there's things that I've seen from you that you're not happy, like you're not really good at, and there's probably things that I probably suck at. You should be able to take that criticism and say, this is what I think you should do in life to get here.
Okay.
And then by you doing that at a younger age with a woman, she's gonna be able to tap into her own mental, have morals and values for herself, and not be persuaded by the world. I think a lot of women are persuaded by others.
That's true.
And not saying men are either, but I think more women are persuaded by others. And it's like, if you have a nice, genuine man to say, look, babe, I think you can do what you want, but I think you should go this route. It might be feasible. It might be better financially. It might be better spiritually, emotionally, whatever. And then if that woman goes and does that and say it works in her favor, she probably has no problem with you leading. And I think a lot of women want you to lead, but it's a thin line of how you like word it. I don't even know how to word it, but like me, I'm just blunt. So it's like, if you don't really like me, then you can leave.
Nah, and I can agree with that statement at the same time. It is a matter of, very much it's a matter of how you word it, because you would probably hear this a lot. It's not what you said, but it's always how you said it.
And I've learned that in my relationship. It's like, literally, shut up, woman. Like, everybody always tells me, you always have something to say. Oh, well, I'm sorry, I have an answer. But I'm just learning to just say, you know what? Don't say nothing here, because if you say something at this time, it's gonna trigger something, and you're gonna get in a big fight. So how about you don't say nothing right here? Maybe keep it in your back pocket. If something, a disagreement comes, maybe present that on the table, but just saying something every time.
I'm not gonna lie. I had to punch my wall and end up like just sometimes get my point across. I'm like, this ain't good.
So that could be toxic. So much velocity and trying to get your point across. See?
Well, not even just get my point across, just get like, bro, like, don't talk to me about this. Like, this is pissing me off. And it's like, I'm like, okay, I gotta calm that down.
Literally.
And that's one thing I learned to do and everything. It's
not easy.
It's still a challenge.
It's a challenge. Like, for me, I have anger issues as well. And I'm like, especially when your girl is very temperamental. If she's temperamental and I'm temperamental, it's very like, I've just learned it's that. So it's like, for me, I've learned to defer in those moments. And I'm not somebody who would defer, but I'm like, I know I'm going to take it to literally Afghanistan. And if I take it there, she's not going to be able to handle that. And she's going to crumble right there. But it's like, now, she wanted to play Big Bad Wolf. And then I said, well, let's play Big Bad Wolf. And then now you crumble, now you want to cry. So it's like, that's when I've learned to say, you know what, Lennon? It's about how you say it. It's about going into Obi's lane of like voicing things calmly, saying things super calm, voice your side, and say we can agree to disagree. Because it's not about being right technically. It's about just having an understanding from each other. But I be wanting to be right.
I remember I did that one time in a calm sort of demeanor, but a little angry at the same time. And I made her crumble. I made her basically go inside the room and cry. And then I walked out. Like, I literally walked out the house, and I was like, damn.
Do you think it's good? That sounds so good. This is a toxic episode already.
It's already started this way.
Don't hold me against it. Do you think...
Everybody's clicking off right now. They're like, man...
Do you think a woman, at the end of the day, respects a man who stands on what he believes, even though sometimes it can get ugly, but he puts her in her place? Or you just do the way and just saying we can agree to disagree, and then she feels like sometimes she can walk all over you. Who do you think what do you think, what woman do you think? I think the woman who can think that they can walk all over you would cheat first versus that. Even if you made them cry, it sounds horrible.
Your word is everything as a man. So like, if you don't stand by your word, then that respect is gone. It's like a woman can always respect your word.
Your word.
So it's like, if you say what you mean, then that's it. Like, you mean what you say.
Don't
then,
go back on it.
Yeah, don't go back on it. And then you hold up at that end of the bargain at the same time. She's going to always see it like that. It's always the little things they will easily see that you will always overlook. And it's like they will look at the little finer details like, dang, he actually meant what he said. These little finer details, like, I kind of peeped that. And they're going to gravitate towards that. So it's always mean what you say what you mean. And it's definitely about how you say it as well, too. And how you go about it. That's what they'll gravitate towards. So, yes, that's the first option. They'll always go with the first option. Second, I wouldn't stray to the second option.
Why is it like that? But they also say we don't want no crazy man.
At the same time, they do, though. They need the drama. I mean, don't you think? I mean, because honestly, no woman wants to just be bored around the house at the same time, or just like, because honestly, in most of all relationships, you're gonna argue. Do you think a woman is not gonna want to argue at some point?
It gets to a point now they be wanting to argue about anything.
Any little
come
thing.
on, you just bored. The sun might be true.
So it's like
bored.
you gotta argue. They gotta argue, and that's how you build your motherfucking relationship. You gotta argue. That's the sad part about it sometimes. And even though it's annoying,
Crazy.
it's annoying. I hate it. But
That's why makeup sex is a thing.
yeah, but that's that part. That's what makes it better. The makeup sex.
See, I be angry. That's how you know I be angry. I don't even be wanting to do that, bro. I'm still pissed.
Really?
I'm pissed.
Oh,
yes, it's better, but like, because you have more passion, you have more forgiveness.
Boy,
No, bro, I'm not even trying to be angry.
I'm angry. Clapping.
I ain't gonna lie, I ain't doing shit as the host right now. I'm letting these motherfuckers talk. But this is good because we need to have this conversation. We need to let these dialogues out.
I ain't know that was the
Hey,
episode was about.
For real.
This really need.
So, on that note, we'll hit y'all back for the episode 4. Inside, let's get it.
It's just different.
Hopeless at one point, and they have an opportunity to make you go harder, make you get in that booth and just really express that hopelessness. Like, man, y'all don't understand. This is like, you know what I mean? You dig from a different place. That bottom of your soul, that pit, homie, where you felt like the shit was, you know what I'm saying? You always wanted, but it looked like it was just not gonna happen.
Shit, in your mind it ain't gonna happen, shit, it probably won't. I took some risks, some people probably won't. That's how we're grateful for the fruits of all my labor. Hard to live and know you sick, I'd rather be with my creator, thinking time's up. I hit.
Welcome back to another episode of 4 Insight Podcast. This is your host, Mike Odie.
It's your boy London Overtree. What's up, my guy?
Man, we got real toxic at the beginning, but we good.
Yeah, you know,
It's good.
No, we good. We here. Trey Garrett, what up, y'all?
Yeah, Trey started it though. So.
Hey, man. I was asking a little simple question, dog. Something
what-
that came around.
You know what's crazy is that actually that whole intro, that whole beginning segment really kind of segued beautifully into what this whole episode is going to be about, sort of the theme. So a lot of what London said and what he talked about, what that initial part came about, honestly. Recently, yo, I know we're still trying to put this name up, but we've been kind of getting a little bit of heat, I'm not going to lie, about our episode these past few weeks, yo.
A little bit?
A lot.
We have?
Just a tad, man. I've been getting some
Let
feedback.
me answer their questions.
And, you know, I feel like it's important for us to be authentic and to tell the truth and to be held accountable, right? You know, we're honest people. And so what I wanted this week to sort of serve as is a bit of an intervention. We're going to look at ourselves in the mirror. We're going to hold each other accountable.
Okay.
And I've compiled a list of grievances. I went out and did some field research. And we're going to see if we really can look at how we think about the world, how we see the world, and really be able to check ourselves. Because at the end of the day, it's all about us trying to do the right thing and get better. You feel me? So, fellas, London spoke about women needing leadership or being led or being trained.
As a dog.
and
Yo,
there are many people in society who look at what he just said and will think that, you know, that's wrong. That's not how society should be. Women don't respect a man who wants to train them, nor do they need someone who needs to train them. So I want to open it up. First and foremost question. Damn,
I'm just saying.
First and foremost question is, you know, the first grievance that was brought up to me is that women don't need leadership like we think they do. So who wants to take on that first grievance?
Sounds good.
All right, Lon. So what do you say to that? Since you're the Mr. Leadership man, they need to be trained. What do you say to that comment right there? Women don't need to be led. Women don't need leadership, or women don't need a man to train them like you generally talk about.
My question would be, so why do they look? There's so many different sectors to the leadership part, but why do they look at us to do most of the things in it?
Do they? I mean, honestly, in the society that we're in now,
Yes.
in the society we're in now, women have their own career, they make their own money, they have their own houses, they have their own ability to provide for themselves. And a lot of women, especially single mothers, I look at this, but even women who are in relationships who have their own families, they are really capable of doing more things than ever before, especially given the platform and the ability to do so. So, do you really think that it's on men to try to take on a leadership role, or you really think that women look on men to provide most of the things like you talk about?
I'm gonna give you two men. And I would say, what do you think a girl would go to towards? You have a CEO of a company, big company. He's very stern. He makes $350,000 a year. That's probably what, $30,000 a month, $35,000 a month.
Yeah.
Then you have somebody who works at Academy. He makes 18, 20. He makes $17 to $18 an hour. But he has his life together. Like he's trying to get there.
Jesus.
That guy that has structure, that makes $350,000 and has a plan and a goal that he's chasing for himself before that woman came, is going to make that woman fall in line and follow his lead. Versus a man who works at Academy and makes 17. And there's no knock to it. Like I respect everybody, but I'm just going off what I've seen from women. So it's like, it's the same thing with us. We don't want no woman that's not amounting to anything. I think it's just more acceptable if a woman's not doing nothing versus us. I don't think we can, and I'm just going to be honest on this podcast.
But she better do something.
Like, it's not acceptable for me.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, I don't think if any of us talks to a woman and date somebody and then say, you didn't provide for anything. Do you think that woman will say with you?
Nah.
Why not?
Good question.
What happened to the lead? Like, why can't they lead?
This ain't 50-50.
All right, so try to get in here then. So you don't believe that there is such thing as a 50-50 relationship?
No, it
Why
not? All right, so there ain't no such thing as a 50-50, but the same, because really, okay, you can pay, let's say, all right, let me get the example. A guy goes and pays the bills at the same time, pays most of the bills in the house. Is that really 50-50? He pays most of the bills.
No.
Is
You
that
have to
50-50?
say that though. That's how crazy it is. I don't think it's 50-50, but to make that person feel like that, I'm gonna say it's 50-50. I know it's not 50-50.
Forget saying that. Forget like being catering towards that. No, it's not 50-50. I'm going to be honest with you. This is not 50-50. I'm paying most of the damn bills in this house. And at the same time, you want to say we have a 50-50 relationship. That ain't it. Like, okay, yeah, you can cook and clean and everything as well, too. And then at the same time, you say that I pay the bills. And you say that's 50-50, that ain't 50-50.
Well, why is it not? I mean, to play devil's advocate, right? You might be taking on the responsibilities as far as financially, but if the woman is taking care of the home, she's taking on her half.
I'm cool
Her
with that
half,
part.
her half may not be financially, but it is still a role in which she's putting and giving her all, and that's a big burden that's being lifted off of you. I think is what a lot of women or people in general will argue.
Well,
why you take on most of the burden financially, and you have most of the bills being paid for, or all the bills being paid for, she's still fulfilling a role and needs to be appreciated.
Yes, no, I very much appreciate that. But then at the same time, it'll still be like, she'll still come to me for counsel on a lot of aspects in that house, in the family, and in everything else. So that right there and then and there is not 50-50. If I have to come in as counsel, as a mediator for these things, that's not 50-50. I'm still being put on the burden of like, okay, so we can do this then instead, do that. I'm still the final decision maker. The final decision maker is not going to be a 50-50 person. This person is going to be like almost 100% in there. That's 100% decision maker right there.
Let's be honest with you.
Yeah.
Rick, I don't know too many women. I don't know one, and this is, I'm not even in the game, but I don't know one woman that I've, in my past, that can cook better than me.
Oh man, hey yo, I ain't gonna lie. There's many women who I talked to who said, "Damn, you cook hella good."
They're
I
not
even cook.
cooking anymore.
Yeah, some.
Like my mom,
Some are.
gradually, my mom throws down. But see, that's why I say it was hard for me, because I saw my mom work corporate America. I saw her cook. I saw her pick our plates up. I saw her make our plates. I saw her clean the kitchen. I've seen her do it for 365. I said, can I get half?
No. So you do bring up a point that I hear a lot of modern men bring up right now, right? And I can understand where you're coming from, being African myself. My mom came here from Africa, was an immigrant, got her citizenship, went to pharmacy school, so she made 6 figures, high income earner. But given all of that, was still a dutiful wife where she would cook, where she would clean up until we were able to do chores, right? Do the dishing of the food and do that, even if she was working, right? My dad largely would pitch, he'd do his part, he would contribute, but my mom was the sole care of the house. So what it goes to is I hear a lot of men complain about women don't do the same things their mothers did, but one would argue it's possibly easier to do now, right? It's very easy to meal prep, or you just put things into a crock pot. These are the things I hear. You put things into a crock pot. I'm not asking for gourmet,
I ain't asking for
every single day.
You can't cook like I cook.
But if a guy asks for a simple meal to be prepared, that's too much to ask for.
It is.
And because of that, I think that's the exception that guys take versus, we saw our moms do this for our dads, so we would kind of believe that's what maybe men are, I don't want to say entitled to, but that's how it should be.
That's how we think. And a lot of women get mad at, thank God I don't have this issue no more, but I'm just speaking on previous stuff. But a lot of women be like, don't compare us to your mothers. I'm like,
Don't compare me
I'm
to your
not.
daddy.
And but this is that's another good point. I've never even seen that point. But this is my thing. Then I get harsh with them. I'm gonna say, trust me. If you think I'm comparing you to my mother, in those, you're losing. So I'm not comparing you to that.
Yeah.
So if you really think I'm comparing you to that, you shouldn't even be in my face right now. And that's why I used to say, I don't think you can remotely do what my mom. I think my mom's an anomaly of what she did. Kudos to you. If I always tell people, if I lift up the left side of the couch, you need to lift up the other right side. I can't just lift up the whole couch every time. I think women now expect men at the age of, let's say from the realm of 24 to 27 to be I need you to take care of me and pay for everything.
Get your shit together right
I
now.
need you to take me on trips. I need you to fly me out sometimes. I need you to buy dinner sometimes. I'm not doing that. Let's go eat at Chili's. Say we eat at Chili's. We can't eat at these Chili's. But so to me, I just grew up differently from other men. I'm not going to pay for Del Frisco's where I don't even want to go most likely. So it's I'm not gonna go pay $300 for no meal when we can go to the grocery store and pay $300 and not eat for a month. That's just not smart to me. So it depends who you're talking to. So a lot of these women now, they don't relate to me. So a lot of them I'm not even gonna talk to. So
to your point you just made that, a lot of women expect a man to take care of them, take them out, pay for them, whatever the case may be. I'm sure that there's a woman out there who makes an honest living, no matter what their salary, whether it's 60K, 100K, 120K. And she's a good woman, good person. She just hasn't found the right one. She hears what you just said, rolls her eyes and says, man, this guy's full of shit. It's not that simple. I don't look at men to take care of me. I can take care of myself. I have my own money. I make my own. I provide for my own. What do you say to that woman who takes exception to what you just said?
I used to love women like that. Because I'm so good at reading body language. You heard about something.
Or to a man even who hears you say that and says you're full of shit because you're not valuing women for what they bring.
I value women for what they bring. I'm trying to tell you the reason why I value women. And I always tell people I'm such an advocate for women. But just because I'm pushing women to be better, don't mean I'm not an advocate. I'm just telling you what you could do. Because to me, I think women can go work in corporate America or go make 6 figures, 7 figures. They can do all of it. I always tell women, what's the difference between you and Ellen and you and Oprah? What's the difference between Oprah and Ellen and you? I say most women who leave college, what are the 2 industries they try to go into? Healthcare, be a nurse, or that's really a lot of. Let me think of another one.
I think it's customer service, like
Customer service.
like going to like a customer service rep, or you be a one of the landline people, one of them type of people, basically.
Call centers.
Call centers, yeah.
And
Call
I don't
centers are healthcare.
In healthcare, somebody wants to be a nurse, get an RN. I say that's beautiful, but why sell yourself? Why not go be an engineer? Why not go be a surgeon? Why can't you do that? Why can't they gonna say, well, it's harder? Well, it's harder being a black man too. So if you want to go into that conversation, we can go in that conversation too. But at the same time, it's like you have to say, I can beat the odds, and I can do. And I always tell women, you can do anything you put your mind to. So I don't feel bad for saying you're not doing what you're supposed to, because I'm telling you, you can, but you're not applying yourself to get there. Why are you telling me I can't? I'm not applying myself. Are you? To me, as a man, your role as a man is to take care of your family eventually.
Yeah.
And then say, I don't mind paying the bills. I don't mind if you need me to mount this TV. I don't mind cutting the grass, doing this. But say, and this is the harsh reality, say I pass away. I have 3 kids. Are you going to be able to pick up what I did and do that? That's why you have to train them. Because if I die, I need you to take care of my 3 cubs.
Jay, you have anything to add?
Nah, that destroyed me at the end right there. That was good. Like, cause like I mean that's simple enough right there.
That's life. We don't like to talk about real life stuff.
That life insurance ain't gonna help you out. That after like maybe a few months, that life
Have you
insurance.
saved? Have you invested? Have you prepared for a rainy day? So if I go now, you can hold down the fort. And at the end of the day, that's all I think I want in my girl and my potential wife is, can you hold it down for me?
You know, I actually I was out in public, and you know, one of the things when I hear these type of points be brought up, I like going and asking people in real time their opinions on these matters, right? And so I just like hearing people's thoughts on it, especially women when it's about women. So shout out to the homie L at the gym. I asked her this question, and she gave me a really good answer. She says, I like to feel empowered, like I am taking on a leadership role in the relationship, but at the end of the day, I still want for my man to be able to be the leader in the relationship, because I was raised traditionally. And I thought that was a great way of bringing it into perspective of saying, I want to feel valued and feel empowered, which I think all of us do, but I still look to my man to be the leader of the relationship. And I thought that was a great way of putting it. All right. That was a hell of a good start, honestly. So the second thing that was brought to my attention is, honestly, quality women don't care what men bring to the table, let alone want to hear men talk about what they bring to the table. You know what I mean? They don't want to hear about what you have. They don't care about what you have because they have their own, right? I think didn't Neo make the song?
Miss Independent?
That and loving her because she got her own.
Oh,
so, true that. So just to that point, what do y'all think?
That last part is true. Like, they
don't speak on the shit.
Don't speak on it.
Just do your
thing, I've never
bro.
really been nobody to tell nobody like what I make, this and this, or what I do, because I just don't see no purpose in it.
Hell
but like, I don't agree with them saying they don't need nobody to bring nothing to the table, because I just haven't seen them. Like I said, so why don't you get somebody who works at Burger King? I'm not saying it's bad, but
I'm also go back in fact to say at the same time that you want a daddy, basically. You want me to be your dad. So it's like, all right, I'm gonna take care of you and everything. I mean, that's what you basically want. Like a woman's they're gonna want what they saw in their mom and dad relationship. Now, mind you, most women don't have a dad at the same time, and then so they go out trying to find that. They try to find a real man who actually take care of them, everything. They want that deeply inside of them. That's something that can't be just ignored for sure. Like it's inevitable for them. And at the same time, they're always going to say, "Oh, I want you to treat me like a princess. I want you to treat me like a queen." Well, look, if you want a queen, then there has to be another thing, a king. A queen can exist on her own. I mean, it probably did happen, but that got shut down so fast. But at the same time, I would definitely say on the matter of no, a woman doesn't want to hear what a man does and everything. She wants to see it. And you know, you can tell her like a little glimpse of things you're doing, but other than that, that's it. You don't ever like show her the full picture of everything. You just end up like just really going out and doing it and be like, okay, I'm about to do this, do that. I'll be right back. I got this stuff to do. It's like, damn, this man's busy. He's doing his thing out here, but he's bringing bread back. He's actually doing this stuff. He's bringing like, you know, actual things back that could benefit us. That's what she wants to see. She don't want to hear.
So she don't really hear. So you don't think a woman wants to hear about super details? Just
no,
as long as it's there.
That's what they want to give out. They want to give out super details. They don't want you to give out the super details. They get bored. They get bored hearing that. They're like, oh, okay, that's cool.
So that goes to the thing. Why the heck they saying they don't want our leadership?
They want counsel. They want the counsel at the same time.
Training.
They want the.
I think. Let me see if I can put a ball on it. I believe that we're at a part in society and where, you know, times have evolved. I think we have two conflicting schools of thought that are clashing right now. I think on one end there was the traditional aspect of man leads, women follow, or, you know, man goes out, makes the bread, brings it home while the woman takes care of the home. We then have this new iteration of society that says, no, women can also make bread too, which is great, and I agree with that. I think all three of us in this room agree with that, right? But they want to also take on leadership positions, or they want to believe that I have just as much of a say in every single aspect of society as my man does.
Can you handle it?
Can they handle that? That's to be determined, honestly. Right? And that's what I honestly think. What I think the clash and the issue comes about is how do you then go about resolving issues whenever they come about in a relationship? What kind of person is that creating? What kind of person is that attracting? And are you attracting what you want out of a partner? You know, if you're a man and you decide that you want to be a leader, okay, do you find women that want to have a man, you know, take on most of the burden? Do you have a woman in your life that, you know, wants you to guide them like you guys are talking about? Or does she believe in being independent on her own, and at the end she doesn't need for all of your input at all, you know, various junctures, right? Those are parts of it. Then you have on the flip side, right, a woman who says, I want a full man's man, masculine man, leadership type man, right? But then she doesn't want to do the submissive roles of letting him take leadership whenever he wants to take it. I think those are the things that we talk about. However you slice it is how it's going to be sliced. To me, there's no one way, there's no one trick, there's no one right answer. And I think people have to stop being so rigid, or people have to stop being so quick to judge and saying, because London said it this way, because Trey said it this way, because Mike said it his way, that's wrong, that makes me cringe, and that's not right.
So you don't be soft.
I'm not even gonna say people are soft. I think people have their predispositions.
Oh no,
and
no,
people
no,
have
no,
their,
no,
no, I'm
no.
serious.
Let's say people's soft these days.
People are soft in terms of getting their feelings hurt too easily.
Yes,
like I think
soft.
a person like myself has full ability to be able to agree and disagree and hear people's thoughts out. That's the one thing I can say I take pride in as a human being, is saying, I know I don't know everything, so I'm gonna listen to everything and be able to form my own judgments. From forming my own judgments, I've been able to determine, hey, there are multiple ways to skin a cat in this life. So how people go about doing it for themselves is how they do it, right? Now, I don't feel like I would do it that way, therefore that's wrong. You know, I'm like, nah, man, shit, that's the way that person does their relationship, that's the way that person lives their life, that's all that matters to them. You know what I mean? And I think that's where we're at. Now, in terms of how does that factor in for a man and a woman, we'll speak on the woman's aspect. The one thing I've been able to observe in society, and I brought this point up to someone recently, is they said, you know, man, I have a partner who makes a high income. She doesn't fit all the stereotypes in life. So a lot of these guys who talk about, you know, needing to give their woman leadership, I think they're full of shit. I say, cool. Now understand, your woman, this is what I said, your woman, your partner does not fit the stereotypes, which is probably what enables her to find a partner easier than a lot of the women in society.
She's not the majority.
Or, yeah, you're not the majority. And so then the point that can be brought up is that the exception simply doesn't make the rule. Because she's not the exception, she was able to find a partner you guys have been able to build a life. But imagine if she fit the stereotype. Imagine if she wasn't the type of person that attracted you to her. Would you guys be in a relationship? Probably not. And that's what this all boils down to. At the end of the day, society largely is being evolved to a point where a lot of women are observing people who aren't matches for them. They're not compatible. Because they're not compatible, a lot of people are out here being single and lost and trying to find partners for themselves, but they can't find that match that they need. And that's all I'm observing and what I try to bring up to people.
You know what I think it is?
Mm-hmm.
You said something about women are saying they want to stay in a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
They're using older terms or older things that's happened to other women back in the day, and they're still basically saying they don't have say. And it's like, we're not saying you don't have say. We're not saying to say, shut up, don't say nothing, this is what's happening. No. All I'm sitting here is saying, like, I think they put so much like, women are emotional. They put so much emotion into it that they're like, I'm not doing this because you might think that I'm just one of these women who gonna stay home and cook and clean. You know what? Guess what? You can have my role. Actually, go pay all the bills, go do all this, go pay for the kids' cars, go pay for his college. I go stay home and cook and clean. I guarantee you, I would take that role over what the hell the role I got.
Man, what? I'm like, shit, thank you.
Y'all like,
man, let's go easy, man. Jesus.
Don't ask me.
You know, I think today.
Don't ask me, because I'm not even looking for nobody. So I'd say y'all how I feel. But that's the thing. That's why I've always been true to myself, because I'm like, there's women who agree with me.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm like, those were the women that I've always attracted. So I'm like, I'm not about to sit here and just let you just not do nothing. Like my girlfriend, she does so much. Like she pays for stuff. She has her own money. She cooks. She cleans. What is so wrong for y'all to do that?
See, and I think what you're talking about
ain't wrong at all.
I think what you're talking about though is something where the fact that you're saying what you're saying and you see it says that there is truth in what you brought up, right? There are women who want a guiding type, sort of, would you say, a guiding light, counselor type of partner, and for those who want that, they understand what comes with that. And so then if they're able to attract that type of man, then great, they have that match, right? But then for the women who want to be a little bit more autonomous, there's nothing wrong with wanting autonomy in a relationship. But understand everything comes with give and take. People in general, men and women, can't have their cake and eat it too. And I think that's where we are, and that's really the problem. Everybody wants to have their cake and eat it too. A man wants a submissive wife, but then doesn't want to be the type of person to take on the burden that is probably necessary and required from a woman who wants that type of man. Flip side, a woman wants to say, I want to live how I want to live, and a man should just accept it. Well, not every man is going to go for that, right? Or whatever that looks like. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, people have to find middle ground. They have to be able to collaborate and say, okay, you want to do this? Okay, you do this, and I raise you this. Okay, what are the deal breakers? What is it? It's that communication on the front end where, for me, who likes to take my time in relationships, people are like, man, you go too slow. I'm like, I'd rather let this shit bake in the oven and let it manifest the right way than just microwave a relationship. And just say that I'm in a relationship, or just say I'm married to someone just for the sake of it. That's the problem. That's the problem.
But
that's what a lot of. And I'm not trying to make this a woman hate.
It's too late, dog.
Podcast.
It's too late, dog.
But y'all, I was watching a TV show.
Yeah.
I watched Love Island. I ain't gonna lie, it's a good show.
Who?
Love Island.
Yeah. I heard of it. I ain't watching that crap.
Good show. So this girl, she is with this guy, and he sat down after like all the shenanigans and closed off the relationship. Mm-hmm. The girl went to her guy and said, "Do you see Ella and Todd? They closed off. Why aren't we?" That's the problem. Like if you see a woman getting married and you see all your friends getting married, you are going to want to get married. How about you just focus on us and let this bake organically, and then let it come on our time. We don't need to do it because Jesse and Jen is doing that. Like we don't need to worry about them. I think that's the issue. A lot of people are not worrying about their own relationships. Just worry about you.
And then at the same time, they're always coming back to their friends of like, I had it, like it's, and like also it was one instance of where, let's go back to the past a little bit, where basically this girl's friend friend of a friend, basically gave counsel to my ex's friend and her, and saying like, basically like, oh, why ain't y'all getting married right now? What's wrong with everything? And so what happened was the aftermath of that happened is that the friend got to that boyfriend, and basically he got trapped in the ultimatum, and he lost. And same thing almost happened to me. I didn't lose though, because ain't no.
Why is it a loss? why is it winning and losing? See,
because
we gotta change up the framework of all this stuff.
Okay. Let me word it another way. It's true though, because at the same time, like, bro, you're basically bending to that. Like, it's bad to say, you bend into a wheel of like going into marriage, but like, and it didn't go organically. I get it. Okay, y'all been together for like how long? Maybe like 7 to 8 years, whatever, bro. There's a reason why y'all been together and y'all trying to build this up into a marriage, because it's still gonna take more time. It doesn't matter how long it is, y'all still are together, right? End of the day, that's it. That's what it should be. You ain't gotta put a ring on it and say like, oh, now we conjoined together by the government. Forget the government. I ain't trying to get all this certificate and everything into all that stuff. No paper or nothing like that is gonna solidify us. What's the paper gonna do compared to a genuine relationship that we have together? What's that gonna do? They ain't gonna do nothing for us. That's gonna just add on another party to our relationship. Because you don't need another party.
Only affects. The only difference between your girlfriend, if you really break it out, girlfriend, you do have benefits from it because you get like lower like percentages on like
I get that
housing or whatever. Yeah. But the more the story, what you're saying is there's no difference from boyfriend and girlfriend and husband and wife. There really isn't. If you want to go like besides like the financial standpoint of it and all that, but just like just boyfriend and girlfriend. Say you get married tomorrow, we're still doing the same thing.
The same thing. All this all day. The only thing that got added to it, we got a honeymoon. We got this new financial thing coming up. I think that's it, right? Yeah, that's it. That's all we fucking got. That's it. So that's what it's boiled down to.
I'm going to get. I'm just saying, like, it's to me, it's. I'm with somebody who told me, why do I have to have? I don't want a big wedding. I'd rather just go to the courthouse, get married, and then spend that money we was gonna spend on the wedding for our family and friends, and go on a big trip. It depends how the woman is. I'm so big at reading energy. So like me, I've never and no knock to women who getting plastic surgery. Do you? I never want to judge nobody. I'm saying what's not good for me.
You ain't shit.
I'm saying what's not good for me. Like I can't see myself laying with you for 50, 60 years. Yeah. You got
a pillowcase
silicone in your butt, or you got silicone in every other place in your body. Like that's just never been me. It depends. That's why I say everything is situational. I'm not knocking. Like there's men who are starting to get abs or something from like surgery. Like they're getting abs for surgery. Oh, they're starting to break their own legs to get taller. Bro, this is what I tell a lot of women. I said, God gave you this. And I don't know how religious people are, but like this is what you came on the earth for. Like this is who you are. Why are you trying to change yourself? They're gonna say, well, the comment I got back was, what about the people who take steroids? That's an enhancer. I said, well, I don't take it, so I don't know tell you.
I don't tell you.
But like,
that ain't what God gave me.
I still think they have to work hard at their craft.
Yes, they
and
do.
It's like a sport. Like I don't think you getting a bigger BBL or you getting fake lips or you getting fake boobs does anything for you besides make you
uplifts the image, uplifts the confidence.
No, but it lowers the confidence, but at the same time, at what cost? Because of the cost of it is the longevity of that. It's like basically you're watering down what was beauty at first.
That was already beautiful. You're already beautiful.
Yeah, you're already beautiful. Especially if you already have a man and you're trying to add this on. Why are you doing this while you have a man? What's the point of this? You got your man now.
Because at the end of the day,
what they do?
Your body is God gift to you, right? That body, that God body, you feel?
It's that God body, bro.
That God body is God's gift to you, so you don't need to do nothing artificial. You don't need to enhance it. Nothing.
And do you think they do that for them?
No, I don't.
So what the hell? So you're not. So this is why I shouldn't be with you, because you're not even comfortable in your own head.
No, not one bit. And I can't get with that.
Get a woman.
I'm so sorry. Look, I'm sorry for all the plastic surgeons out there, the one who got the plastic surgery, the one who do it. I'm so sorry for y'all. Sorry, not sorry. Forget that shit. I ain't sorry. Nah, it's stupid. No, I can't.
Yeah, I don't like it. But
So let me see where I can try to come in on. You know, my boys are a little passionate today.
only reason why I'm passionate is because I've been hearing a lot of women, and I would love for a woman to come on here and talk to me face to face and try to tell me something different, because
I got heat for that.
I would tell her, I would say, that's your opinion, that's my opinion. We can agree to disagree, and there's a man out there who will like you and love you for who you are.
That is facts.
I'm saying for London Ogletree, I'm not doing none of that. It's okay, babe. You can be 24 and I'm 25, and we both don't gotta work right. You don't gotta work right now. I'm not doing that right now. Mm-hmm. If you tell me that at 45, 40, babe, this is what we got in our account, this is what we got here, I want to put my energy into something else. I have a friend of mine who had an ex, and she does really well in life, and he does well in life, but he wanted to focus on fitness. Before he blew up on fitness, she said, quit your corporate America job, which you make over 6 figures, pour it all into fitness. Because I believe in you to blow up. Before he blew up, I believe in you to blow up. I will pay the bills and pick things up. I've never had that in my life.
Hey, that's a dream. What?
So that's a team.
Yo, that's crazy. I never heard that.
You pour into me, and I believe in my boyfriend that you're gonna blow up on this social media stuff and be an influencer. I have the funds. I will fund the bills, and then when you make it there, now we can get into our real estate when we want to, and we can do that for a little bit, and then I can quit corporate America and we can be free.
Doing that, I'll be so scared.
No, I won't do that, because if she leaves me, I'm no.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'd be so scared to do that, but at the same time, but at the same time, all props to them. And then they still going strong, are they?
No.
Okay. No.
But
damn, dog. It was so beautiful.
But my point was just like.
But that's surprising though. Still, that started.
Okay, so then to that, I actually want to know, why didn't it work out?
She was, in my opinion, she wasn't secure in her mind. She was insecure, which I think a lot of women are. It takes the man, to me, to go look at that woman
and cancel.
It's like, to me, everything I'm saying sounds horrible. I always say I look at women like cells. Not in a bad way. In the way of, you have to question-based selling. I always say you gotta ask questions.
Yeah.
A lot of women have told me, men don't want to get to know me. The people I hang around with, we have no trouble communicating. You have to start here from a woman, because most of them are hurt, like you said, fathers, relationships, mothers. You have to go and put band-aids on each of those, so that woman is like, you know what? I can trust him enough to put my walls down. I'm not fixed, but this man really wants to help me and pour in my bucket. And a woman should do the same thing for us and pour in our bucket, and we be a team. Women don't want to be a team, and there's some men who don't want to be a team either. So I'm not just putting on women, it's both sides.
Yeah, that's facts.
I'm not going to sit here and say a woman can't do everything. I think a woman can do a lot, and that's why I get mad at them, because y'all can do a lot.
And I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't too much of a team player at the same time when I was doing my thing with my ex and everything. I get that part. But on the matter of fact of being a real, like, I was a real team player on the fact of like, oh yeah, I was building this stuff up, but I wasn't a team player on another part of it. But at the same time, it wasn't enough reciprocated for me to be a full team player, for me to be like, okay, bet, now let's go out here, let's do this, let's do that. We couldn't do none of that crap. We just stayed in one spot, and that was just torturous, just torture in my mind.
Very good and interesting points, man. See, I love this passion that is coming from both of y'all today. Before I go on, do y'all have a question? Like, I ain't really talked too much today, so I'm wondering, do y'all want me to touch on anything? Y'all want me to touch on any points? Should we keep on going?
Let's keep going.
All right, bet.
Let's keep going, dog.
Grievance 3. It's the environment that you guys are in that is warping the way you see women in reality. most women are trustworthy and should be given credit for who they are and what they bring to the table.
Okay. All right. Let me say something real quick on that. I mean, you can say that, but with how social media is nowadays, it's not even just the environment. It's becoming a worldwide thing of like, this is the environment now, worldwide, to be honest. Because the access that's being given on social media, it shows so many different personalities, and a woman will pick up on each and every single little different personality from that, and become a debacle of what you first met. You didn't meet that type of person. You met this kind, loving, giving person, but then social media got to her, and it's like, oh my God, what the fuck happened to you? You were amazing at first, but now you just like let other things influence you, which is the issue. And it's not just the environment we're in. It's a majority of women that's like this, and that's the sad part. And like, okay, you have your outliers out there, you have your little minorities and everything, but the minorities don't make up for the majority. The majority of them out here are pretty much just like in the head fucked up and broken, and most men are as well too.
Mine.
I've always said, me at my time in my single days, women always can turn a whatever you want to call it, HOE, to a housewife. I really believe I can. It's because I think all women move off of what you just said, off of listening to others.
Mm-hmm.
So me, I'm gonna get you back on track. I'm gonna put you back on this railroad track. We're gonna drive straight. We ain't gonna look to the left, no, we ain't gonna look to the right. And you start looking to the left or right too many times, I'm gonna feel it, I'm gonna see it, and I'm gonna leave. So I'm always gonna ask you, I'm always gonna challenge a woman to say, what can you be doing more to better yourself? I'm doing it right now. No, you're not. And if you think you're just stopping here, this is where our disconnect is. But I do think, to answer your question, I do think women are more trustworthy than men. It's just about getting them back on track. It's hard to find them, and it's hard to. You can't. Have I probably got bamboozled before? Probably. Who knows? I don't know. I just don't hope to see it. But I'm saying, like, there's some the stories I've heard from y'all to other friends. Like, I've seen some women do some foul stuff. I'm like, that could never be me. But I don't know if it's me. But like, at the same time, I do believe we're not giving them as much credit as we should. But they have to realize that they're not doing everything, and they're gonna play this card of, well, you men aren't doing what you're supposed to be doing, and that's true.
What am I supposed to be doing? I mean, I'm basically being a counselor. I'm paying most of all the bills at the same time, and like, what else? I mean, emotionally help you out through your
it might not be targeted towards. It might be targeted towards a different, because there's a lot of men.
And then why the fuck are you comparing me to all these other men out here then?
Because
like, I'm your man.
Because if it's your girlfriend, saying that is different. I'm just going off of what a girl would say.
Yeah.
To, because you gotta think about it. Most men, I don't really know, just work like us no more. Like, they do, but like, I just don't know a lot of men who work.
Well, then I think the key there is that it's not on those people. It's not on those women to look at those men and say, oh, all men are a reflection of this one. No, us as fellas, us as men should have community, have a sense of community, which is what we've been able to cultivate in terms of saying we work hard because we hold each other accountable. If L sees me out slipping, he's gonna be like, hey man, pick your shit up. Trey sees me out slipping or doing things that are counterproductive. We have a community in progress where it's like, yo man, we all got to pick each other up. We got to keep on going. And I think that's the part of society that has been lost, is that people don't have communities no more to say, hey man, you got to keep on going. You can't give up. You got to keep on working because it's what we were meant to do. On the flip side, what I say is that women should also have these same communities of accountability where it may not be on man to say, hey, woman should do X, Y, Z. You should be doing this. You should be doing that. And I think that's honestly where the conversation gets muddy. It's like, who are you as a man to be telling me anything? You're right. And that's where a lot of it, I don't exist to tell women what they should or shouldn't do. I just simply say, hey.
So you should do.
No. I say everybody has an option. Everybody has choices. as long as people are content with the outcomes of those choices and you accept the consequences. Consequences don't have to be a bad thing. I say this to my kids. I say this to everybody. Consequences aren't always a bad thing. For everything you put in, you're gonna get out what you put in. And that's the number one key to life. That's the number one life lesson I learned. You know what I'm saying? So where it comes to women holding each other accountable is if you see when your girlfriend's doing something that is counterproductive. I was about to say something.
I was about to ask that same question.
If a woman sees one of her girlfriends doing something that is counterproductive, she's not working to better herself. She's out being, in the club when she knows that she's got a job, or she knows if she's trying to be in a relationship, then don't do things that are gonna make you act and look single.
But
right?
I want to ask, how does a woman go and find that type of individual woman for themselves at the same time? To actually be a good friend, not associate.
I get on
friend.
I get on my cat about that a lot. I say, I did my role as, even though she's never really been like go, but she had her phase of like wanting to go when she lived in Dallas.
Yeah.
When she met me, I said, listen, I'm gonna sit you down. I'm gonna get your mind right. Now her mind is straight. Now the friends that she do have that are out, she says, it's not me no more. I don't like that. They're gonna live their life. They're gonna do that.
Mm-hmm.
I said, now you need to be the friend now. And everything that I installed in you, go install in them, because they can be good women, but they're probably like, why can't I get a man?
Or they are good women. They just have these little adjustments they gotta make. And
Little adjustments.
Yeah, it's a little adjustment.
Yeah, that's it.
It's not
much.
It's not the end of the world. You go out. That's it. Okay, we all understand being young, you're gonna go out.
Yeah.
Right. It's not a deal breaker. Now, on the other hand, if you're out getting sloshed, right, and then you don't know how to take it, that's affecting your well-being. That's affecting your perception. That's affecting the way people see you. Right. You want outcome Y, but you don't do action X to get there. Or you want outcome Z, but you don't put into variables X and Y that are going to get you
I
out.
think they chase the wrong things, men, things. Like, they don't go in the club and then you're going to get in the section because this dude got some clout or something, and then expect this dude to cuff you. Like,
that's right. Yeah.
You see him with three other girls. Like,
Okay.
He ain't made
No. It's not.
That's what it's your fault now.
Actually, it's not even that. It's like when they said, like, I'm not digging on y'all women. But at the same time, I hear this a lot. When they say, I can't find a man and I don't know where to look, get out the club. That's what it basically been at most of the times I be hearing that. I'm like,
well, to me,
y'all been in the club too much. Get out of the club. Then you can go try to find a man somewhere else.
But you looking at with your eyes and you're making yourself easy to fool.
you're out on Tuesday.
That's what I'm saying. No. I say this is the thing.
Not a Tuesday.
I think people only look with their eyes and that makes them easy to fool. That's me to me.
A man should just be looking at the eyes.
Honestly, the best place to find a woman, in my opinion, my lane, is the gym.
Not anymore.
Why not? What's the difference between that and the club?
Ain't no difference, to be honest.
It's almost worse.
Stop. Maybe because the gym we go to.
Well, yeah. Okay.
But you bro, I mean,
What do you think the average age of alpha man is for women?
22.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
I shouldn't be looking over here.
But you did bring up a fair point. I will say that, and again, it does go back to kind of the point. The gym we go to is outlier. Most general gyms, I would say, that is the best place to meet someone. It's the places that most people don't go to in society. If you find a woman there, she goes there for a reason. She probably goes there because not everyone else in the masses goes there. She knows she can kind of stay in her own lane. So if you can find a woman there as a man, like a library. Who really truly goes to the library anymore? Who goes to Barnes and Noble? Who goes to a coffee shop?
I used to.
You know,
I used to love going over there.
So women that you go,
but ain't no good looking women out there.
You never know. And you sleep. In my opinion, there's where the hidden gems of society where a lot of guys complain and say, oh, I can't find a good woman, I can't find this, I can't find that. You're not looking in the right places. For women, I say, when they say, oh, I can't find a man, I'm like, probably he was in front of your eyes and you just didn't want to give him a chance because he didn't fit the eye test, right? Or he didn't fit whatever perception you had at that time. A lot of guys, I've seen it, guys will approach women, but social media will say, wait before I can even give him a chance. Does he look like he has this, and that? And that's where I think the perception can get warped. For the women who go down the social media rabbit hole, that's who I'm talking about, right? For the women who say I look at social media first, and that's what warps my perception.
They're not gonna say that though.
They're not gonna say that, but you can always see that. You can always see that in the way
What's
a
his
person. Not even that. See,
Brian uses that. I don't
with
even
me,
play his game, but
with me and doing this fragrance stuff, I meet a lot of people, I meet a lot of women, I meet a lot of, all across the board. And it's within 10 seconds, I already know what type of vibe that person is on. And that's not a bad thing. It's just at the end of the day, I learned how to train myself to say, no matter how this interaction goes, thank you, have a good day, have a good, and
That
keep
part.
moving. No matter what. And that's where I think guys got to get over themselves and get over fear of rejection, get over anxiety. You got to put your pride to the side, and at the end of the day, no matter what,
Let it go.
You're sitting there, you see that girl walking by,
Yep.
you're asking yourself, should I go over? Should I go pull up on her? Maybe I'll do it tomorrow, maybe I'll do it next week. Do it now, bro, because at the end of the day, the worst you can say is no to you.
I was too competitive in my time. Like if somebody curved me, I was cool with it.
I'm trying to not beat up. Obviously,
You have to.
Okay,
You
I'll be vulnerable since that's what people ask. I'm still trying to get over that. That's the one thing I gotta
think you should
evolve
get rid of
past.
it.
Huh?
I don't think you should get rid of that.
And I can't.
It makes me go harder.
It does.
It makes me go harder. Like
I still got that dog.
you really question me, but I was really the lottery ticket. Bet. I see. You see.
I don't
I'll be
even
like,
say
go
that.
right to the next. I'm like,
just-
okay, cool.
I am gonna say that. I'm confident
London
in
knows
myself.
London interested.
I'm very confident in myself.
For sure.
So I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm the baddest dude on the planet.
Right.
But I don't think I'm just the ugliest dude on the planet. So at the same time, I know what I bring to the table,
Yeah.
financially, physically, emotionally, whatever. Like, I know I bring that to the table. So if you want to just give the face value test, like you just said, and curve me because, say I ain't driving a Maserati or this, I don't want him. I'm
Say,
say cool, bet.
and say at the same time, say like you driving a 2001 Buick Regal, and it's like, oh, you driving that? I'm like,
Hey,
look,
actually,
I'm
my
driving
exhaust
that.
pipe is smelling up the back of the car.
Yeah. I'm like, look, I'm driving this right now, but at the same time, in maybe not even a couple years, like a couple months, you're gonna see me driving something very differently.
I wouldn't even say that.
And like, no, I'm not gonna say it. I'm just gonna. This is all in my mind. Like, I'm just gonna drive something real different. You can be like, dang, he's actually
But
kind
see,
of coming up real
I
quick.
saw something on Twitter. Somebody said, focus on your bag and the women will come. Don't focus on the women.
Nah, you got
That all
Why
sounds
would
good,
you?
but I think a lot of guys really they can't do that. I mean, because at the end of the day, I think everybody wants companionship, and so you keep I think society's telling guys focus on the bag, leave the woman alone.
People go to my university.
They do.
University.
But because for me, I can legitimately,
It'll just
I can
gravitate, gravitate towards you easily. You just don't have to. Don't worry
You're
about
right.
it so much.
What we're
So
saying in
easy.
this room is correct, but it's easy for us to say because we done been through the rabbit hole, we done been through all of that, and we're old enough to say, look, it is the true statement. But a lot of guys have to go through learning things the hard way in terms of saying, nah, I got to chase first, I got to go and pursue all these women, right? And then it's like once you get older, you done been through enough. Heartbreaks, you done had enough bruises, you finally say, okay, man, you know what, it is right. I gotta focus on that. Most guys gotta go through that whole evolution, so to speak, right? Me now, I'm locked in to a point of trying to build. I'm like, man, I teach, I do fragrance, I have a business. I'm trying to build this shit up because I know once I do this, everything else comes easier in life, right? But most people don't have that long-term mindset in terms of saying, man, look, if I focus on my shit, everybody else gonna fall in, and that's really what
I
it
think
is.
it's common sense on that part. But how do you think you're gonna react? I want to ask you, actually, how do you think you're gonna act when you make it?
Or I think I'm gonna act when I make it.
I know it's gonna mess your mental up. I already know how old it is. So it's like
You gonna think
the girls that maybe you have wanted or you think should I go at them? Those might be the girls who be like, I want Obi now. That messes me up. I don't even want you.
Yeah.
It pisses me off.
Hey, you know what's crazy is that I actually had that conversation today. I had a conversation with a guy who is successful, money, whatever, and I asked him how do you? Because that's really the main question I ask myself over and over, and I think that's the point I'm at even now. With me not dating, is I'm really trying to decide if I make it, when I make it, when this thing blows up, when it takes off, how do I know a woman is legitimately with me for me? And I think the answer to that question that I'm coming to the realization of is you is not a rigid thing, it's a fluid thing. The you at 26 that was making it, that was trying to build it up from the mud, you were developing into this form that once it takes off, once it makes it, once you get the money, that's the version of yourself that was meant to settle down and to be in a relationship. Does it suck while you're in grind mode that, you know, people are looking past you? Yeah. But all of that is building that ammunition up, building that pseudo armor up to say, look, I built this, I kept going. When a lot of people gave up, when a lot of people told me, yo, give up, why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? Why are you trying to be a fragrance, you know, connoisseur, business owner, man, just go and get a job and just give up on that shit. It's like, nah, I'm gonna keep going because that's the only way I know how to be. I'm a dog, and because I'm a dog, y'all just gonna wait until I get off this leash, and then you're gonna see what I'm being fired like. You know what I'm saying? Now, as far as how that's gonna be with women, I mean, it's
so is this whole episode not? So these people asked us these questions, and so this whole episode not contradicting to saying shouldn't, like a woman saying we don't need a man to lead or we don't want the leadership, but we can just be honest with ourselves and say you see all the dudes with clout who automatically gets women. Mm-hmm. Like, of course they want to be in that spotlight and let that man lead now because he has everything. I asked you, what's going to be the difference when you make it versus now? And it's like, it's answering my question of, they keep saying like, we don't want y'all to lead us all the time. We want to, like, so why do y'all chase the people who has everything?
You know, that's
they want counseling. That's all.
So we're right.
No. I think what it is, they not sure when you're still building it up.
You say what?
They're not sure.
So you're not for me.
You're right. That's the answer. That's how I am. That's how you are. And that's how it is.
Sure.
Like, no, I'm serious. What I mean by that is very seldom, especially because of social media, like you brought up. Are there women that exist that will be willing to build it up with you? Yes, there are.
But that's
yes, there are. But the fact of the matter is that's not how society works anymore. Especially us being young, we're seeing it in real time. So it would be great if we could say, "Oh, well, nah, that's just the social media." Nah, this is really how life is. Like, unless you go somewhere where people don't have the level of access, and it's not even just the gym. It's where we live too. We're in a big city, big populations, big access, like cloud all around us. So this is what we deal with. It's gonna be like this here. It's gonna be like this in Miami. It's gonna be like this in Cali. Any place that is big on people, it's like being a rapper and being like, that's what sells, because there's a level of access, a level of lifestyle that you just can't have if you're just building up.
I can't tell you how happy I was in Michigan.
You see what I'm saying? And so those people appreciate the little things because they don't have as much, they don't know as much in those type of, you know, Midwestern, Southern states. Now, how am I gonna react? I mean, I'm gonna be Mike the same way. I'm just gonna have more money and more access to myself and probably even more busy. But at the end of the day, my core values are gonna be my core values because I was raised right. I was raised by the grandmasters of learning how to, you know, choose the right type of partner. I know what type of things I'm gonna buy. I know the type of things I'm gonna want, and I'm gonna always stand on 10 about that. And then from there, it's just finding a woman who is compatible with me, being able to match, you know, as far as the effort level. You know what I'm saying? As long as we have that, she's hardworking just like I am. I'm attracted to her, she's attracted to me. We can build a lifestyle, but you know, this time, it's tough. Like I said, they're not sure because they don't see the end product. They don't see the end result. A lot of women got to see that. They got to see some level of potential, some level of what could happen or what is going to happen.
So what's wrong with me doing that?
It's nothing. It's nothing wrong.
They get
Unfortunately,
mad
we get shamed when we do that.
No, I love to get shamed. I'm perfect. That's why I said, I'm like, you can sit here and like, you have to see the potential. But if I try to look at the potential and you're just doing nothing, it's wrong for me to say you're not doing anything.
I'm gonna say it. This is terrible.
That's just where I can't. That's where the disconnect for me is with women. They be like, we need to see the potential. We need to see if you like. Cause say I got, like you said, you're driving like a Regal, Buick Regal.
Yeah, so like you're driving that old school car.
Like, if God told you, like, we know you're gonna be rich, and only you knew, and then you're just still trying to go there, or whatever, and then a woman is like, I don't really see it yet, whatever. Mm-hmm. I'm like, so you're not really my queen, my soldier.
You gotta move to the side.
You gotta move to the side because if you believed in me when I was here, I'm gonna give you everything
when
up
I
here.
get up there, and that's I think what you just said is kind of the epitome of what I embody honesty is. Like, look, while I'm down here, if I can find somebody while I'm down, not even down here, but like while I'm ascending, if I can find someone who is like, man, I say, hey, this one, I like his values, I like what he's bringing, I like how he looks, you know what I'm saying? He has potential, and I rock with that. Rock with somebody who has that drive and ambition, right? Because that's the secret to life. But nonetheless, if I can find somebody who I'm compatible with at this level now, then when I get up to the top and she's been through the battle, the journey, and she's been able to love me through all of that, I'm going, hey.
Skirt. I want to ask a quick question. Now, say if your ex came back to you and you were at the bottom with her and she saw your potential, but y'all broke up now, and you're single and she comes back to you, would you go back to her?
Damn, that's tough. Probably not. It depends if I messed it up.
How did it end? How did it end, or why did
He
it end?
said
You messed
it up.
I messed it up. I take accountability.
No, because you're supposed to take me back. Honestly, I might do it, and it kind of goes into already what that girl is. Like, you already know what she's about.
Mm-hmm.
You know she likes you before you had anything. In the back of my head, I will play in my head like, are you only back here because I'm up now? But if I was down, would you have came back? That would be. I'm overthinking though. Don't go.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's why I asked the question.
I told them a story. I'm not gonna tell it on this episode. I told them a story of what happened to me where something like this happened.
Mm-hmm.
So I have trouble going back to exes.
Obi's different on that lane. Like,
Very.
Obi's not like
Very.
you don't really have too many stripes. You don't have too many strikes. You don't have too many.
You ain't got no show. You just gotta know.
Like, Obi's just very which is not bad. It's like, this is what I request.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I'm gonna bring. This is what you should bring. And if you're not, it's okay. It's no hate.
Nothing but love for you.
That's fair. That's honest. And a lot of people don't like that. Like, well, why can't you just change up? I don't have to change.
I ain't gotta change my ways.
Somebody is compatible for me.
What Shannon Sharp said. Shannon Sharp, I remember when he was on All the Smoke, he talked about his lifestyle when he was an athlete, right? And it made so much sense to me. He was like, listen, the way I train, the way I eat, the way I am as a person, everything. Can you handle being in the role that you're probably going to carve over? You might be number two a lot of the times to work or to whatever I have going on in life. Can you understand that?
Ooh.
And most of them, they couldn't handle it, right? And because of that, hey, I ain't got no strife about it. I ain't mad at you, but please don't hate me for the way that I am. And that's really what it is with me. Like, there have been so many people who I could have stayed with and I could have figured it out, but that would have came with the sacrifice of my potential, my purpose.
So much.
And as a result of that, it's like, hey, I've had to let them go. And some of them are easier than others, but it is what it is. At the end of the day, you always got to stand on 10. Like you said, you got to be able to be a man of principle. Say, look, you couldn't accept me for how I am at this moment, and because of that, we're not compatible. It's hard. I wish you the best always, but at the end of the day, I gotta do me.
Mm-hmm.
I got a story.
All right, what you got?
To kind of go off that, and I think a lot of women struggle, and a lot of, I don't know, would you say in this society we're more favored, like African Americans and Africans and Nigerians? You think we're more favored to women now, like who they pick? I'm getting somewhere before I go to my story.
I say
It was it's
kind of.
In a way, yes. I think it's depending on where you look and where you pay attention to. I think African American men can be commodified and sort of trophy in a way. Is that right? No. Do I agree with it? No. Do I like it? No. But I think that is some of the things that I observe to be.
Yeah, that's a good. Do I like it? Because I always ask myself, do y'all like us? And that's why I say I don't know what ethnicity you are, but if you're Hispanic, if you're white, you're black. Of course, the black women are gonna know more than the other ones. But if you're not black on that point, what I think the missing thing is everybody wants us to pour into their bucket. But if you're with somebody like us, like
Ain't no bucket getting poured in.
Like, you don't even know,
I don't know how you gonna
the
tell that.
upbringing that most black people deal with. So for me, I think they need to learn how to go. Because like you said, are you able to be number two? Because I don't think a lot of women realize, and for me, in my opinion, my goal is to always make my woman happy. Mm-hmm. So for me to make her happy, I have to keep a roof over her head. I have to make sure she's great in life. So I have to make sure I don't mess up on my career. Mm-hmm. I make sure, like, a lot of men I've noticed stop working out when they get married. It's because they're like, one of my coworkers, like, his wife is like, well, why do you have to go to the gym every day? Like, you can't stay home. Like, there's so many things that we have to put on the back burner as to make our woman not be angry at us, that we sometimes lose happiness. And what I think women can get better at is saying, you know what, I don't want you to change your ways. Mm-hmm. I want you to continue to be who you were before I met you, and I want to keep pushing you to do that, because I think it's very selfish for a woman to sit here and make you not work out like you used to.
Not do the
don't
hobbies.
Bring peace.
The hobbies you used
to do. The hobbies that you used to do. If you have an ex that did something wrong to you, don't put that on me. And if I say I want to go have drinks with the boys, I want to go to Vegas with the boys, have faith in me to say he's gonna come home and do everything right. And if he doesn't, then you deal with that later. But don't put that on your relationship now. So I think a lot of us men get stressed because we're trying to make sure this is taken care of. If you have kids, make sure they're good. Mm-hmm. Make sure that your wife is taken, or your girlfriend is taken care of, while also learning how to speak to her, learning how to say it to her, how to make her evolve. My thing is, why do I have to do it all? Mm-hmm. That's just what I break down. Because not every woman's like it, but I'll let you go.
I think what happens is this black man, we take on the burden of multiple generations, and it becomes our responsibility. Not only to take on our responsibility, but to fix the responsibilities that our parents and generations before the woman that we end up being with. Like, we have to fix all of that as a result. And like you said, we have to end up pouring in so much of other people's buckets. We have to pour in your wife, your children, and you can't complain about it. If you even have a day where you feel stressed, you feel like it's a lot. Why are you being weak? Why are you complaining? Yada yada yada. So it's like, you gotta shut up.
And I'm cool with that.
And that's cool. But then, right, when I cope or when I do things my way, right? Why are you doing that? It's like, because
why are you shutting down? You don't even know what the hell is in my hair right now.
Right. And I think that goes.
I gotta play my game or something. I gotta do something to get away.
Something to get away.
I gotta get away, because if I can't get away, then that's gonna be an issue. That's gonna be like, you gonna see me walk around pissed. You want to see me walk around pissed? No, because you see me walk around.
I still gotta bear that and deal with that. Even if I get pissed, if I decide to make that decision to get pissed, you still got to deal with that, because you still are gonna take that on in your family. You're gonna take that on your wife, your chick, and at the end of the day, you can't. There's no winning in that, right? So it goes to, okay, fine. This is the burden. This is the responsibility. This is what it is. We accept it. It is what it is. We're not going to fall back on, because I'm black or because I'm any minority, any ethnicity. This is what it is. I was given a life. I was put here on earth. I got to make do with what I got and what I was given access to. At the end of the day, that just means that I'm going to cope the way that I do. So I got to find a partner and a spouse that understands, hey, you have your burdens, you have your things, you deal with this like I do. I'm going to respect you as a human being. You're going to respect me. We're going to build a life together. We're going to build a family together. And at the end of the day, I'm gonna make sure you're good, just because I know you're gonna make sure I'm good, and we're gonna work through all this together. That's what people gotta get to.
Wouldn't it be good if your woman just came to you and can acknowledge that I might not be African American, I might not be this, but at the same time, I know you're stressed. I know you're probably not in the best peace of mind.
That is great.
Let me just fall back a little bit. Let me do something for you without me having to say anything. And you just come to me and you do that. That makes me say, at least you see it. Mm-hmm. At least you see that I'm going through something. That makes me be like, you know what? That gave me the energy to keep going.
Yeah.
And it goes to those little things that to bring all this stuff that we talk about back home.
Oh man.
When guys talk about like the qualities that a wife brings, right? When we talk about when people hear men talk about a wife bringing them peace, it's not she's sitting there waiting on his beck and calling me and serving. It's the idea that when he comes home and he's had a stressful day, no matter what he looks like, no matter what the race is, she knows, man, you were out there hustling, slaying, doing everything for your family.
Oof.
Let me perform whatever small gesture that I know that you like, whether that's because of the meal, whether that's massaging, whether that's just giving you that, like, hey, I appreciate what you do. Like, it's so rare that guys hear that and we don't ask for that, we won't ask for that, we can't ask for that. So when women just take that little bit of initiative of saying, hey, man, I appreciate what you did.
It goes so long, but we're as men, we're never gonna tell a woman.
Yeah.
It would be nice for you to say that to us, because we have to be.
No, we gotta be stoic. We gotta be just chill about it. But if I hear the words, hey babe, what you want to eat?
That was beautiful.
That'd be like,
The fact,
that'd be like, oh my god.
the fact that was ass was enough. Like, you don't even.
Yeah.
Baby, right?
It's just like, oh man, look, you know what?
that
Just
was
make
bad.
anything you fucking want. I just give me anything. Give
But
me anything.
thank you for knowing.
Yes.
I was probably hungry, and you. The key to it. Would you say the key to a man's heart is his stomach?
He demands how his stomach and effort, like that effort.
Effort.
Of saying, hey, would you like something to do? Shit.
Like, I know you seem like you're stressed. You walked in and you want to talk.
Yeah.
You know what, babe? Let's go to the gym. Come home. We don't gotta really speak. Let's just lay in the bed and watch TV and we can just chill.
And that alone, man, I'm telling you, that
goes.
that's
That goes the
key.
longest
That's a key
way,
to
bro.
life.
I don't want to talk about my day. If I don't want to talk about my day, then just leave.
But see, that's a lot of women have that issue too. So I'm trying to get both perspective of what can make us feel good to make y'all say how y'all can feel better about how we would feel if y'all just gave us I don't think a lot of women, not all women, I won't say that, but I don't think some of the women that I've seen just take the initiative without you having to walk them to that. Like, hey babe, what do you think we should eat today? Why couldn't I just come home and there was just something on the stove?
Because-
just don't ask me. Just go and do it.
This is my one.
Don't care.
This is my one.
Sunday.
Whatever
Man,
comment.
the Sunday cooking meal.
A lot of it is.
Some turkey necks at least, dog. I just need something, man.
Yeah,
Like, oh, you meant? I'm like, oh god. thank you. It's like I'm sorry, to cut y'all, but it's like you go to your mama house, and you see the food. I'm like, ooh, you cook. Oh my god, man, you don't know how long I've been waiting.
That's why I get mad at my pops. I'm like,
That's not
Man.
good, man.
I'm like, nigga, she give you everything. What the hell do you want? You got mac and cheese with greens and fried chicken and
Cornbread.
spaghettis on Monday. Then you have roast with potatoes. Like, I'm never going to complain. I don't know. This is a great conversation.
And then the people got to show appreciation. I think the point I was gonna make, I think what we notice is that there are certain women, when they get in that relationship, they get in that security and they get a little lazy in terms of saying, well, sorry, like, why do I have to cook? Why do I have to do that? Or they feel like, now that I got that security, I don't got to do nothing. Nope, you're supposed to be the one to bring everything out.
Do you want to keep me?
Do
Do you want to keep me happy?
And
Do you want me sad?
to put a bow on that?
Do you
It's
want
not
me
about
mad?
going at, it's not about going at people, but I'm just
I'm
saying
sorry.
to those people who fit that stereotype, who fit that mold, that's not gonna work long term. That's where you start to build that resentment of where a man can feel unappreciated just like a woman can feel unappreciated. And when your partner, male, female, starts to feel that way, all of a sudden, what did we talk about last season? What did we talk about last season? All of a sudden,
They gonna
you know,
do
ooh,
something.
I could go home or I could.
Or I could go somewhere else and
Okay.
get some food.
Yeah, let me go ahead and go
One
over here
thing
real quick.
leads to
Oh, this
another.
person cooked.
When you're not creating a home, somebody's gonna find another home to fulfill. And that's what it is. When that happens, ain't nobody winning, ain't nobody gonna be happy.
I'm gonna say this real quick as well too, ladies. Please be organized. Y'all have to get your organization correct. I'm sorry, some
I thought that was their perk.
Damn, dog.
That's their perk.
No, some women out here are not organized. Please get y'all shit together.
That's
Jesus Christ. Some of y'all places be dirty. damn, get that together.
Oh, yeah,
I'm gonna say that.
I just see
Fellas, clean your places up too, man.
But see, that's the
yes.
thing. You see, you just said a woman gets comfortable and be like, well, I don't have to do this anymore. Okay, well, why I gotta take you on dates still? Why I gotta give you flowers still? Why I gotta sit there and give you the reassurance if you're not giving me the reassurance?
That's it. Everybody got to keep on keeping that effort. That's
All I ask is you just move this shit out the way, organize your shit, put it up. You can bring it right back out. Say, what's the point of doing that? The point of doing that is to have an organized place. I want to see this shit all over the place. I already dealt with so much shit in my out there that was so scattered. Why I want to come home to a scattered place, a scattered home? I can't come home to that.
Is she stay home? Is she stay home? Is she staying at home too?
No, staying at home or not, it don't damn matter, bro. All this stuff is here, out on the open.
Previous, you're gonna get a lot. All right, you're gonna get a lot of men and women who look at you and say, "Your wife works just like you. Why does she have to take on the burden of cleaning the house?"
It's not. No, it's not.
Women are like nourishing, just as how they were made. They're like made to nourish you.
And then at the same time, it's not even that. It's like the matter of like, especially if it's your stuff that's out like that, and my stuff is put up.
Okay.
Then we got an issue. It's like yo. Organize the shit, or I'm gonna do it. If you don't want me to do it, because I'm gonna just put your stuff in the box and move it out the way. Because that's the worst thing for me to do.
My thing is this. I ain't know what I was about to say.
Yeah.
I ain't know what I was about to say. So
I'll put a ball in there. And this comes from an OG. So in case that anybody is listening to this and think, oh, these are just some youngsters, y'all don't know anything, whatever the case. This comes from an OG. I remember I had one OG who was like, look, the way we came up and how we always saw it, and this is part of how I was raised, that listen, as a man, you're gonna always make sure that you have the capability to take care of your family. That's why a lot of what I talk about is capability. Not have to, but you know, at the end of the day, you were raised to take care of your family. You're gonna have to create one. You're gonna have to be able to provide for them. No ifs, ands, or buts about it, right? And then from there, you try to find a partner that is willing to do their part in the relationship. Whatever you guys hash out and negotiate, right? But make sure that you have someone who is driven and who wants to create a better life for themselves, kind of like what Lon talks about, right? From there, as long as you have those core values, then dating and being in a marriage is really, I don't want to say simple, but finding a partner is simple, right? This dating stuff isn't that complicated. This marriage stuff isn't that complicated. All the marriage stuff is you get instead involved and you're saying, okay, till death do us part, right? And holy matrimony. I think a lot of people don't take that marriage component really that seriously. It's like, when people say till death do us part, that's what it's supposed to mean. Not, okay, I feel that way today, but then tomorrow I could, be bored and decide to get out of that. See, I think going to your earlier point, when he talks about the difference between relationship and marriage, like marriage just is that official seal with the state involved,
with
right? The certificate. But at the end of the day, the core value that you find in you building a relationship is what's going to carry you. Right, understanding the type of person you're in a relationship with, understanding are they messy, are they neat freak, are you messy, is she, and is you, whatever the case is, you hash all that stuff out, and then you're able to say, okay, look, I know this is what you are, we're gonna work on that, and then in turn, the thing that I'm strong at, we're gonna work together and we're gonna build a stronger family unit. And that's what I'm always preach, that's what I'm always talking about. All the rest of this, oh, men are this, women are that. We gotta get past that and stop this shit.
I'm gonna ask this one question to y'all. Y'all long-term relationship ex, would you take a bullet for them?
Anybody I say I love you to, I'll take a bullet for.
Anybody who I find and be in love with, I would take a bullet for.
Y'all amazing men. Yep, that's how it should be. At the end of the day.
And we'll wrap it up there. Fellas, we got to the end. Made it. Good ass conversation.
We forgot some question that I was like, we should go into it, but no, maybe we shouldn't.
We'll do that next week. But at the end of the day, hope everybody was able to learn something. Hopefully, people's minds are going to be open when they listen to this, and not be dismissive. But at the end of the day, it is the truth, and I always rock people who tell the truth. Any last thoughts? Anything this week?
I already got my stuff off my chest.
Straight up got his stuff.
I want to say sorry, not sorry. Let's just say that. Y'all see me. If y'all see me around, y'all can come talk to me about whatever y'all got a dispute with. Sorry, not sorry.
Don't say nothing, okay?
I'm mild mannered. Just if you're trying to get into a heated argument, you can do that with somebody else. That's what it is with me. I'm not that type of person.
Go to Afghanistan with you.
I go over there to Jerusalem and we gonna talk to God together. Cause I mean, God did this to me.
I'm
so
gonna stay domestic and be in the CIA, man. I'm just gonna send my peoples out there. Whatever that look like. But nonetheless, that'll do it for this week's episode. Again, we appreciate everybody who's continuing to listen, tune in, followers are going up. You know, just continue to share this with people who you know. Share this to your friends, and help us grow the movement. We're growing this all organically. Remember to follow, remember to subscribe, remember to like every video, and help us boost in the algorithm because we can't do this without y'all. Follow me at ob.mike56. Also, type of Molded Perfumes. Official launch is on the way. We got a couple more things to iron out.
Yes, sir.
It'll be officially a movement. We still got people buying and growing and selling, so we're doing that. Tap in if you need some fragrance, get on you, smell good. Remember, look good, feel good, smell good. L Tree.
I don't really be active on Instagram anymore, but follow me at London_Ogletree. Yeah, that's about it for me.
I mean, yeah, y'all can follow me at LaShawn.116. How's your boy there? And then, you know, follow the Moled page and everything. We coming out here, bro. Anytime y'all need a fragrance and everything like that, hit us both up. We'll hook y'all up. End of the day, that's it.
Just love. Catch y'all next week when we out.
Peace.
Feet on the ground with a prove you wrong mindset. I'd rather go out on my sword than have my mind tapped. The ones with eyes can never see, I make the blind clap. I'm bringing back that type of sound that wants to find rap. Divine